Welcome back to another video, and today I will be showing you my high-end makeup favorites. Welcome back, and today we are doing a second part of my summer series. So as I discussed a few weeks ago, for the summer I'm doing this 3-part series where I'll be showing sort of an favorite from sort of each makeup category in terms of pricing category. So I already did the drugstore one, that's already on my channel, and today we are doing sort of my high-end makeup favorites from the higher end brands that I have tried. And lastly we will be doing the indie makeup, I think. I'm not sure have I scheduled filming it to next week or the week after that, but there will be still a third part of this one. And just like with the drugstore one, I tried to maybe group these into categories. There are still individual products, because with some of these brands I do feel that this individual product is the best in terms of the particular high-end brand. But I did also try to do maybe a bit of category thinking, that if there's a category of products that I feel that a high-end brand is particularly good of, then I did try to also think about it that way. But anyway, let's get to these sort of products. And just like with the last video, there are more high-end brands that I do have products from, but I did try to think that I wanted to especially highlight what I thought that the products are exceptional. So for example, I do have products from Tarte or Charlotte Tilbury, but when I was very looking at the products from both of these brands, I thought that yeah, the products are nice that I have, and those products do have a place in my collection, but I didn't feel that those are particular products from those brands were exceptional compared to the products that I am about to feature in this video. So just something to consider, that this is definitely not like all the higher-end brands that I have products from, just like with the drugstore video. But anyway, let's get now to the products themselves. Okay, so let's maybe first start with a more of an luxury category brand from high-end brands, so Pat McGrath. And surprisingly, we are not going to talk about eyeshadow, because definitely considering at least last couple of years, Pat McGrath has very much fallen off in terms of eyeshadows. If I would have done this kind of video 2 or 3 years ago, then I would have definitely included that yeah, the motherships are yeah, they're very expensive, but they are very exceptional. But I do have to say, indie brands have kind of killed Pat McGrath in terms of specialty of eyeshadows, and considering also that you can get a lot of great indie eyeshadow with multichrome shades with less of a cost of a mothership. So with Pat McGrath, no eyeshadows. But with Pat McGrath, there are 2 sort of products that I want to display. First one is maybe more of an individual product, so the Pat McGrath lipsticks, and these are the matte trans lipsticks. So for the sake of example here, we have 2 of them, and I'm just gonna show maybe the Fembot shade. And so why I wanted to rank this is not a lipstick formula I would recommend if you suffer from super dry lips. So for super dry lips, please don't try this formula, you won't like this. But if you're looking for a very long-lasting bullet matte lipstick, I do think that this formula is worth it. Are these very expensive? Yes, but Pat McGrath, especially these days, constantly runs sales, and some of her retailers also do kind of tend to run sales. So you most likely won't have to pay full price of these lipsticks. This is also because it's a matte bullet lipstick formula, this is also very long lasting. It's not gonna be as long lasting as a liquid lipstick, but it does get quite close, because even if the this is one of those formulas that wears off quite nicely, and after the sort of initial layer wears off, it does kind of tend to leave a sort of a thinner layer underneath, where you still actually do have some lipstick showing on your lips, even though you would have the sort of thicker layer already worn off after eating or drinking. So if you're looking for very long lasting matte bullet lipstick, this is still a formula that I would recommend, and I do feel that even though it is expensive, it is still it is worth price. And I have tried my share of high-end lipsticks, and I haven't found another high-end lipstick that has the lasting power of this one in terms of bullet lipsticks especially. Then I'd say more of a product category that for me I think has replaced maybe the eyeshadows for her, and that's sort of Pat McGrath's powder cheek products. I haven't tried any of them. I don't think she has liquid blushes, but she does have the stick cream blushes, but I haven't tried those. But the powder formulas I would recommend. So for the sake of example here, I have one of the holiday palettes from a few years ago. It had one of the blushes and highlighters, very beautiful formulas, very smooth, beautiful on the cheek. It has the sort of nice, I'd say more of a satin kind of formula, which it's not gonna be super glittery, but it will like give a nice sheen to your cheek, and it will look very like beautiful. And I think it suits quite a lot of like different skin types, and also like if you are more mature skin, or if you have maybe a bit more younger skin, this is definitely like a formula that is quite flattering. And second thing that I have to show from the sort of powder cheek products is the sort of bronzers. So this is the fairest shade that she has from the bronzers. What was this one? Naked Desire, yeah. But again, as with the like blushes and highlighters, also this bronzer formula, very beautiful, very smooth, and this is a matte, traditional like matte bronzer formula. And again, this is something that I would actually like pay for the brand prices. And these are one of those cheap products that I would definitely like miss, that if I would suddenly lose them from my collection, I would be one of the few like higher end things that I would actually like rebuy. Then let's get into Natasha Denona. And from Natasha Denona, surprisingly again, we won't be talking about eyeshadow. I know for many the Natasha Denona eyeshadow formula is one of the higher end formulas that they recommend. However, for me, especially the deeper matte, from my makeup preferences, the deeper matte shades with Natasha Denona's eyeshadow palettes, I have always felt that those are quite sometimes hard to work with, especially considering how much her eyeshadow palettes cost. I have been now trying out the I Need a Nude palette. Sorry, not I Need. Is it I Need a Nude? I think it's called I Need a Nude. It's the neutral palette that had her like revamped formula, and I have I can see now that there's been like an upgrade to her formula, but I still don't feel that it is the best. It is not an eyeshadow formula that I, for example, would want to put into a favorites video of this one. But what I did want to mention from Natasha Denona are these. So these are her satin lipsticks, and the fact that I have two of these actually speaks quite a lot, because lipsticks do take time to use up. But I wanted to recommend, because satin lipsticks are something that they haven't been, how should I say, they haven't been trendy. We had the trend of liquid lipsticks, and we had that for quite for a while. Then we had this sort of bullet matte lipsticks for some time, and now we have seen a lot like these glossy lip formulas, especially during this summer. It seems that everyone's coming out with a glossy lip or a lip balm or something that's a glossy, but these satin, sort of traditional satin lipsticks really haven't been in within the makeup market. But for me, these are actually like the preferred lipsticks formula, because these are something that have a very good longevity. You do have to like reapply these during the daytime if you eat or drink, but these still have relatively good longevity for being satin lipsticks, and these are like more comfortable to wear compared to some of the matte lipstick formulas that you usually like see on the market. And this is also a lip formula that you can apply very easily with a lip liner or without a lip liner. You can reapply these some lip formulas don't reapply well during the daytime if you have eaten or eaten a lot, or if you have some texture gathering into your lips, or they just don't layer well to the old layer of the lip product that you have underneath. So with some lip formulas I have found that you almost have to take out the sort of old layer, and then you would have to reapply the whole lip formula again. But this is something that reapplies well during the daytime, and you don't have to have the feeling that you would have to go through a whole lip care routine to get a nice even layer with this one. So a very nice smooth formula, and there is a good reason why, for example, I have gotten two of these, because for satin lipsticks these are pretty good and I would recommend them. Let's now next get to Dior, and this is actually the first of two eyeshadow formulas that I will be recommending in this video. So this probably won't come as a surprise for anyone who's been watching my channel. I do think that these Backstage palettes do have a place in terms of eyeshadow formulas, and these aren't going to be, if you're looking for super sparkly special textures. I do have an eyeshadow palette formula here later on that I will be recommending for those people looking for something special with high-end products. But if you're a person who's been looking for this sort of very easy, more satin-like eyeshadow formula, but you, for example, have felt that the quads and quints that usually high-end brands come out with, that you either don't get value for your money because those are usually quads and quints, so there's a limited amount of shades they can put. And also, for example, my experience with the Dior Holiday Quint last year, that was just like a disaster. That was the most expensive like mispurchase I probably made during the whole last year. So if you have had like bad experiences with those ones, I would go towards these ones. These are getting a bit high in the price. Like I think the Warm Essentials palette, which is the this one, which is the newest of these ones, these are getting close to 60 euros. I don't know that if these hit the 60 euro mark, am I going to be like, I do think there's gonna be a bit of a like it's gonna really have to be a special color story, or a color story that I truly like, because some of these are a bit repetitive and neutral leaning. But I do still say that with these ones, why I do feel these summer. First of all, the formula of these Backstage palettes is very consistent across each other. I do feel that this is one of the like formulas that you can get a very sheer layer, a very like sort of neutral looks, but these also do pack a punch within them. And I just feel that these also suit a multitude of different kind of like skin textures, or if you have more mature lids, or if you're just looking for something very easy on the go but you still want to get some variety, I would go for these 9 pans. And because still considering like what the quads and luxury quads and quints usually cost, like compared to those, you still like, these aren't still as expensive as those usually are, but you get a lot of more variety, and I do feel that the formula of these is like much better compared to some of the luxury quads and quints that I've been trying out. So this is the sort of first like eyeshadow formula that I would be recommending from high-end brands. Then maybe from like another extreme, so if you are looking for, if you want to buy from a higher end brand but you want maybe you want something interesting, you want something like fun, but you still want to have this sort of very trustworthy, consistent formula, then I would actually go for this Huda Beauty, and now I'm talking about the bigger palettes. Why I am not recommending the 9 pans are because those have a lot of inconsistencies. Some of the 9 pans have been great, some of them have been awful, some of them have been mediocre. So with Huda Beauty I am talking about these bigger palettes, because with this one it seems that she has the most consistent formula. I am now going to show the Rose Quartz here as an example. This is also like my favorite of these Huda palettes, but these the bigger palettes seem to have the most consistent formula. And what Huda does for these is that there is always like something a bit special about these ones. So you have some traditional shimmers, you can get some more like sparkly shimmers. She has been experimenting with some cream formulas. I don't feel those has been as successful, but with these bigger palettes she definitely does bring a multitude of different kind of finishes and formulations, and it is like the better formulation that she does. So if you're looking for something like more fun and exciting in regards to higher end brand eyeshadow palettes, I would go for these big Huda palettes. As I said, I would not recommend the smaller ones because those seem to have like inconsistency across the palettes, but these bigger ones are a great find at like higher end eyeshadows. Then I'd say the last high-end brand we're gonna talk about, so Fenty Beauty. Fenty has, I'd say first, let's go maybe to a category of like more of a category. I'd say Fenty does lip products very well. I still haven't gotten my hands on the gloss sticks that she came out with quite recently. Those are on my sort of August to buy list when I will be able to find those. There seems to be one local online retailer that I should get them quite quickly, but that's gonna be something that's gonna be in August. But Fenty's lip formulas, lip oils, these are relatively new formula. I did say that these were a bit redundant because these do feel and look very similar on the lips as the traditional glossy gloss bomb, but still a very nice formula. And also the liquid lipsticks, these are one of my like favorite liquid lipsticks formulas in like generally. So from Fenty, generally with their lip products, there you really can't go wrong, because it seems that the brand that is a product category that the brand is doing very well. Then a maybe more of an individual product, but still something that I felt that has been like that got me very wow this year. So this is the Fenty's Demi Glow highlighter, and mine is in the shade Too Much. And this is something that I said in my sort of, this has been already I think in a collective makeup review video. This is one of the smoothest powder highlighter that I have tried in a while, and this looks very beautiful on the skin. It is very like, this is definitely one of the more blinding highlighters, so if you want a more subtle highlighter then maybe don't get this one. But this is the more like, it's a shiny wet effect highlighter without it looking like you have individual sparkles on your cheek. So very beautiful, very smooth formula. Only thing that I will say that don't travel with these ones because it is a bit of a fragile formula, but in your sort of makeup drawer or makeup desk use, very beautiful. And I am very interested to see that if Fenty will do more highlighters in the future that in the future, because Fenty had the sort of diamond highlighters, but those were like had more sort of an individual sparkles. For example, I didn't get those because I thought those would look like individual sparkles on your cheeks, but if they do something similar with this kind of formula in the future, very interested to try those out. And maybe even liquid highlighters would be quite interesting from Fenty, because they have the sort of sticks, but maybe something with a doe food like the Dior Maximizer, for example, had. And I do believe that they might be coming out with a permanent collection of blushes, but those seem to be in a different kind of compact than this one. You can go to internet's like makeup Reddits to find that those blushes have been like leaked a long time ago, and I think those should be coming soon to the market if I'm not mistaken. But these powder highlighters from Fenty 100% would recommend. But yeah, that was the sort of last brand I had for this video. So comment down below what did you think about my particular picks from these brands. Comment down below what have been your sort of makeup favorites from higher end or luxury brands in general, because I do think especially with high-end luxury brands you do have to consider that because you are spending so much money for individual makeup product, the expectations are already like much higher compared to if you try a drugstore or a mid-range brand or even some indie brands where with some indie brands the prices are on par with high-end brands, but with some indie brands there are also the fact that, for example, if it's not eyeshadow, they're liquid or cheek product, liquid or sort of liquid, their cheek products or their lip products, for example. Those might not be as expensive, for example, compared to the high-end ones. But with high-end ones, for example, for me, I definitely do have a higher sort of the par is much higher in terms of like putting them into this kind of video, because again you are spending so much money for individual makeup product, and it's most likely that there is a makeup product at the drugstore or at the indie brands that you can get with a much lower price point. So that is just something to consider when talking about high-end and luxury makeup. If you like this video, push the like button, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell button if you want to get notifications for my future content. You can also find me with the same nickname, Makeup Hedgehog, on Instagram. I hope I'll be seeing you again soon. Bye bye!